Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to tonight's race between Eykir and rexxraul. I am Baka Shinobi, and I am joined by Game Boy. How are you doing this evening, Game Boy?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Just got off of work, and now we get to transition from the work of my actual work to the work of commentating a free enterprise race, which I would say is more fun than the other work. But although my actual work's pretty fun, but this is a little bit more fun. That's how I see it. How you doing, Shinobi?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm looking at this seed, and I'm seeing that we're looking for one very specific item for 3 objectives. The Darkness Crystal looks really important here, with 2 of our random objectives being complete the Giant of Babel and conquer the White Sphere Altar.
Wow, so when you see that 4th objective, then you're pretty much hoping for like a Tela. Well, that's pretty much what you'd be hoping for, is a Tela, so you're able to pull off a D-Machine grind. But there are other grinds. We just saw this morning there was another grind you can do over the Giant. Maybe we'll see that instead. So either way, there's a really good chance that we're going to see a Giant grind here this evening.
Yeah, I think unless Edge shows up and we get Cecil and some really nice toys, we're probably seeing some form of Giant grind, because that Porum, she is going to need a lot of experience to go and be helpful on that Zeromus fight. She is our hero this evening.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, Porum does not get as much HP as Rosa, so you do have that challenge as we get closer and closer to the Z fight. But that can also be a challenge in the earlier fights as well.
Yeah, she is, unless you get some good gear on her, she is going to go down to pretty much a stiff breeze. Thankfully, the hero will always gain experience, so you don't have to worry about her getting behind on experience at all. That usually means...
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that just means you can never slingshot her, which is an option with those big giant grinds.
Yeah, exactly. And so our contestants today are Eykir. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I should have asked that a couple minutes ago. And rexxraul. Rexxraul has been in this community for a very long time, if I recall. Eykir, I'm going to need some help on that one, Baka Shinobi.
Eykir has been I remember playing Eykir in Zemus Zone 2 as well, so he has definitely been a long-time member, but he is more happy to stick to tournament matches and whatnot, while Rex is more than happy to jump in the booth with all of us to give out commentary. And Eykir actually helps out a lot with tracking, now that I'm thinking about it harder.
Cool. Well, then clearly 2 very established runners in our community competing tonight, and it's a 51 versus 55 seed. It is best 2 out of 3. We should be getting started in just a few seconds. I was about to say, I saw a fade to black, and I was like, oh, it's time to start, and then it would transition to a different screen.
No, Rex is just showing off the names of characters from Star Trek Voyager, if you have watched that show.
Here we go. The competition, at least for this afternoon, has begun. We do start with Porum, as Baka Shinobi mentioned, and we have Sid as well. I do like seeing Sid at the start, gaining elixir from the sparkle, so Baron will be of interest, especially if that sparkle is a wyvern, which is one of the default objectives this year. And away they go on a wonderful adventure.
Yeah, being able to keep note of that wyvern is going to be very important until we find the other 4 lunar sparkles or wyvern. Because I've also played a seed where I got my key item from a lunar sparkle and yeah, I remember one of those. And then I found out all the others and played Is This Wyvern and lost 4 times.
Alright, now we have our friend quickly mentioning the objectives, wishing everyone good luck, and we're going to start off with a very traditional start. Trip to Eblan Castle. Now, there are 3 monster chests, but there also are a lot of very valuable chests, so we're going to figure out right now what those boxes are.
Yeah, Eblan has higher weighting on the T-Pro flag, which higher treasure weights means there's a better chance of a strong item, which means there's a better chance of getting something nice for Sid. There is even a shot of his best weapon, the Artemis bow here. Great bow is not that Artemis bow, though.
I did see the Artemis bow on Rex's side. I think I also saw a samurai bow. I also see monsters over at Eykir, and yeah, he will not be participating in that fight. I do not like that fight.
That left tower going and having a lot of nice things, so I believe there's also a black belt on there, so even better stuff for Sid. Just need some arrows, and Sid is going to be able to carry hard for a long time.
Yeah, and I also see a Blizzard Spear, which will be quite attractive to if we see a Cane at some point. I mean, obviously that's not the best spear, but it's a very good spear. Oh, there's a Sama drop, so if Tella does show up, you could drop a Sama drop onto Tella, and we will see rocks fall early.
Yeah, or if we want to go and have a Demon Machine grind, makes it easier because you can get 4 weeks off per ether recovery rather than just 3 weeks off. That is a very helpful thing and usually speeds up grinds noticeably.
So Eykir, having cleared off the center area, has done a safety save, and now we'll take a look at the left tower.
To mention something.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I saw a samurai armor and a black belt, and the Boreas was also helpful. Yeah, I think you did mention that earlier.
Yes, the Artemis bow was recently changed with the recent update from tier 7 to tier 6. So this Babel Castle has a chance on tier 6 to have tier 6 items show up in boxes now, which is very helpful.
And rexxraul is going to slightly smile, I imagine, as will Eykir. They immediately go into the right tower and immediately draw up a monster box. That's a perfect draw right there.
Hey, let's get it early. I mean, getting them both early now. So all 3 monster boxes have been found, and they're both free to go and loot the rest of that right tower with impunity, just dodging the monster chests.
Yeah, but that's always the fun part, right? You have to dodge the monster boxes, which I usually struggle with when I play.
Yeah. Well, they like to sneak up on you. Charm arrows from that box. If you are feeling incredibly spicy, you could try and slap those charm arrows and the samurai armor we found on Sid and take out the mad ogres, because mad ogres are weak to charm. But that might be a bit more time commitment than our runners are interested in investing right now.
Yeah, now Eykir did see that box as mad ogres. I don't think rexxraul did. So, but no matter, they're both departing. Rexxraul is going to take on Mount Hobbs, and Eykir is going to get a hovercraft.
And Eykir is going to continue to loot Damsian. Damsian has lower tier items, but those lower tier items are a higher chance of being usable items, such as Thor Rages, Boreases. We found one in Eblan Castle, but a Gaia Drum is another nice item to have for just some early damage.
Yeah, we've been seeing... Oh, how about a second one? Wow. Goodness me, that's a lot of early damage, which is really good news there.
Yeah, it's going to be very helpful when we come to the Ordeals fight as well, because in this flag set, we have the flag turned on called Sea Hero, which, among other things, means that your starting character has to go into the Ordeals fight alone.
Well, look who has joined over on rexxraul's side. It is Cane, and there's a Mom Bomb. And if anybody's asking if this is a randomized game, the answer is yes, it is. It just happened to wind up there.
Mom Bomb didn't feel like moving today. Mom Bomb was just like, this is too much work. We're just going to sit here for a bit.
All right, so very quickly, Mom Bomb gets into really big mode, and will be exploding right about now.
Seems like a great place to have a Thor Ray, or excuse me, a Gaia Drum to go and knock all these out, but the Lit Bolt from Sid is going to do enough as well.
Yeah, excellent idea there. I mean, with Sid having almost 800 hit points, and that was going to be a very easy fight, and Cane is now acquired, and there's that Blizzard Spear, so a very good win over on rexxraul's side, and I expect something similar from Eykir over the next about 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, both our runners in lockstep, though Eykir's gone and full looted the Gamstein treasury, while rexxraul going and looting West Hobbs, getting a second black belt, which is very nice when you have two melee fighters.
And there is that Gaia drum, and that's victory for Eykir. Well done there, and we're going to move on to our next task here. No exit spell yet, so we do have to walk all the way out, and we now move on to our next destination.
Yeah, it is interesting that both runners are choosing to go to West Hobbs. That is a spot that's easily skipped when you don't have exit, but there are chances for some slightly nicer loot over there, and getting the black belt is pretty nice when you have two melee fighters. A Silk Web and a Boreas in the start of Antlion Cave are also very nice. That Silk Web is going to be very prime material to have for Zeromus.
Yeah, exactly. That basically counts as two slow spells, so you don't have to worry about casting them, and anybody can use that item, which is really sweet. We are going to see an ogre axe as well. Ooh, a samurai glove as well, which is a nice little defense boost there.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice things that we've been seeing in these chests. Samurai gloves are good for defense. Not going to go and be as desired as that extra strength, because you can go and get through a lot of things without extra defense, but it's always nice to keep your frontline fighters protected if needed.
Yeah, pretty much rexxraul is designated Kane to be the tank. Well, no, I guess that's not true, because Sid's in the back row, so I guess Sid's the tank here. But anyway, we're going to head on down the Antlion Cave, and we're going to figure out who will be the boss here, and it is... Okay, it's not Antlion. It's I believe that's Odin. Here we go. You got about 30 seconds to knock out Odin. It shouldn't be too hard in this spot, though.
Like, Rex is only going to need 10. 3 hits, 1 hit from each party member. Odin is down, just cut down to size.
Yeah, and Odin's like, okay, what did I do? Oh, that's a find. How about the darkness crystal?
Hi, would you like to have access to 3 of your 4 required objectives? Bets on runners going underground this seed.
Yeah, and so now we have to ask the question: Will our contestants go straight to the moon to try to pick up another character?
I mean, it's really tempting. Tella is someone that you really want to find on this flag set in this situation, because with complete Cave Bahamut, complete the Giant of Babel, and conquering the Vanilla Sphere altar, all 3 of those completable right now with the Darko Seed. Theoretically, you're going to need a bunch of levels for all of it, but if you complete the Giant, you are going to have a lot of levels.
Yeah, exactly. And but first, rexxraul is going to pay Fabul a visit. Definitely can't blame him. It's right there. So, and it's like 5,000 experience points, which, if you think about it, is not that much in the long scheme of things. But so might as well go ahead and knock it out.
Yeah, and maybe I'd be less interested in knocking it out, because we seem to have a vanilla boss here. That's not quite as vanilla, because it's the Alt Gauntlet. The Fabul Gauntlet is 6 fights spread across a number, with the HP split across all the individual fights, but the Alt Gauntlet is random encounters from this nearby area.
Well, 2 from 3 actually for vanilla, but let's see what the Mist Cave spot is. We're doing a check to see if the Mist Dragon is here, or the Wyvern, and it was Calbrenna, so we don't have to worry about Calbrenna today.
Yeah, that search for Wyvern just became a lot more important when you have 3 of the objectives in your hand, and the 4th one definitely puts you in effectively go mode.
Yeah, so for those who have, actually I won't talk about that yet, Valvalis as the first boss, which actually is probably a good thing, because Valvalis doesn't have that much HP in that spot. And Eykir will challenge, because if he wins, Yang will become a character. And especially with jump, Vavalis is definitely going down here. Ooh, but at the cost of 700 hit points for Sid.
Yeah, Sid is that weak spell unfortunately is really strong here because the spot has pretty high magic and it's very unlikely to miss. But Kane will go and break the spin. Porum unfortunately only hitting for 153 on her Cure 2. I believe Porum has the Artemis bow, but just needs to go and get a good solid hit on Val now and she'll be down.
Well, that pretty much qualifies as a good solid hit.
I'll say. Well, who's the second boss? Hey, there's our Antlion.
All right, so now, if I remember correctly, doesn't Antlion hit kind of hard here? Or is that wrong?
Yeah, you are very correct. Antlion hits kind of hard here because this is a spot that has good physical attack. It's supposed to be kind of a scripted fight where you're fighting Yang with your party of children, a sage, and Cecil. And Yang is just, I should beat you up because your enemy's a Baron. And then Cecil eventually hits him and it's like, oh, right, I'm not a Baron guard. What?
Yeah, I'm putting up an argument that we might need some blink here. We'll see. Eykir is hanging in there. rexxraul has completed the gauntlet, and the prize is a speech and the magma key. Ooh,
that opens up two key item checks on your round, and a number of boss checks, which could be important if a Wyvern is not sitting in the overworld. We know that Wyvern's not in Baron Int. Ooh, Eykir did take that wipe.
yeah, that definitely is a pretty tough spot. So he will abandon that for the time being, and we'll try again later. I'm pretty sure, because picking up Yang as a character is pretty nice in my opinion. But instead, Eykir is going to go to the moon, so it's possible that he picks up Yang for free.
Or he finds another character on the moon. He could find an Edge up there because we do have the C standard flag on, which means Edge can only appear in key item gated spots, which bars him from appearing in the second character slot or the two overworld character slots of Hobbs and Baronet.
We have some poison arrows purchased over on rexxraul's side, so definitely want to keep the bow and arrow going on Sid here, and we're gonna check. Oh, we have cabins and tents. Those are pretty important to purchase.
Very helpful to have that camping gear when you go deep into dungeons, and we have the Giant of Babel. There's two bosses back to back. You do get full healed for the first one, but the second one you're on your own for healing, and it's very convenient to have a cabin there in the event that the element spot is something very rude, or the CPU spot is something even ruder than you were expecting.
Exactly. So now I believe rexxraul has wound up into Silveria, checking the weapons and armor here, and it is time for our character check, which we're gonna do a few cool glowy color. The words are not coming to me. Here comes the character. It is Cecil. Ooh.
Not the grind in a character like Tello or Edge, but Cecil's one of the strongest characters in the game after you do Ordeals.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit curious if Eykir is going to go ahead and check out Ordeals right now. It is two bosses for one key item, but promoting Cecil to the Paladin's always nice. But first, we're going to check the Hummingways.
This is a gated shop. You could find things like Leviathan summons and elixirs for sale, but you're not going to find much else because we have no J items in shop, and all the higher tier J items are all the higher tier item shop. Wow, it's hard to say. All the higher tier items for sale in item shops are usually J items.
And Ralstar in chat correcting me correctly. It is 3 bosses in Mount Ordeals, not 2, but still.
With your party.
Yeah.
But like you're walking into this cave of Hammet, going to go and check the boss in here, which you can do from across the way, and if you see a sparkle in there, we are probably going to go and do a sparkle check. Just Leviathan.
Yep. Checking the Mysidia shop and picking up a couple bandanas to pick up some extra strength here. And not much over in the weapon shop over in Mysidia. So back to the blue planet comes Eykir, and we will see his next move shortly. It's probably going to be a transition back to the Enterprise.
Very likely. I'm curious if Eykir's going to do any shopping. Looks like Eykir is walking into town to check for some things, while Rex did just launch the wheel. Wants the whale, excuse me. Yeah, it looks to be going straight up to the moon. It's going to do the scouting that Eykir did up there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And we're gonna move on here, and here we go. Back to the Enterprise, and will Eykir go east to Mount Ordeals? Yes, he will.
Eykir's got that Cecil. You want to get Cecil online, and Eykir still hasn't done Fabul Defense, which is where the Magna Key was. But maybe let's see if you don't need to do that, depending on the other characters you can get access to.
Yeah, I don't know, and it is also the Fabul Gauntlet, so that does take some time, but I guess we'll see how that goes. We see Stardust, another early damage item. Although we've seen a lot of multi-target bosses already. We've seen the Mom Bomb already. We've seen Kalbrenna already. So we are starting to run out of those multi-target items. Oh, Bacchus wine. That's going to be a nice find when we reach that Zeromus fight. So you can increase your damage output, and you don't have to worry about selecting a target for each character. We have the CPU to start out Mount Ordeals.
That's a slightly annoying fight, as it's back road and you're going to go and have a fair amount of HP, and this spot punches like a sack of wet potatoes.
And the attacker was immediately eliminated from the battle.
Gotta get the healer down. The Porum with the Arnos bow, going in, losing the Arnos bow again to go and actually throw healing out, because Porum did come to the fight with less than maximum HP, it seems.
Yeah, and not a very powerful cure too. rexxraul doing the same thing that Eykir did, and does notice the Leviathan, so he knows the opponent. This should not be a hard fight at this point over on Eykir's side. It's just a matter of just continuously hitting the CPU. Doesn't have that much HP, and losing a little bit of HP, 10% every 10 seconds or so, should be fine.
Yep, looks like a pretty safe fight for Eykir. Looks like to be going and putting the Great Bow on Porum rather than the Artemis Bow. And we're seeing the damage.
Yeah, not a lot of damage. We're just seeing like 200s. We've seen a 400. Oh, there's that 400 from Porum there. But well, what do they always say? Slow and steady wins the race, right?
Here's hoping, because, well, there's CPU down. If you did go and choose to get a bit greedy, killing the attacker would cause the CPU to use the spell Globe 199, which is going to kill whoever it hits, pretty much.
Yes, definitely not a pleasant ability for sure, but we will not see that on Eykir's side. We will see 3,801 experience points. Do not forget the 1.
Could be a very important one.
Could be the difference between victory and defeat. Okay, we're not seeing any healing out of Eykir, so that could mean something as we fight Ashura.
This spot's a bit harder hitting, but sure is pretty manageable if you're willing to go and be also patient and use the life lock strategies. Yeah,
and I think that is what we're going to have to do here. We're going to have a little bit of rearranging. There was the gray face there, but that didn't. Whoa, that's 1,000 damage, and I believe he switched to the Rune Axe, and I believe that is strong against mages, which As I just learned this morning, Asura is a mage.
Yes, Asura is one of the 3 mage-type bosses in the game. There is Asura, there are the Maga Sisters, and there are the Baron Guards, who are all mage-type enemies. In addition, the Mad Ogres are also mage and ogre-type enemies, making mage damage exploitation very helpful.
Yeah, now Eykir's got the pattern going here, so looking pretty good for him at this point. rexxraul has defeated the CPU, and will be taking on Asura shortly.
Yeah, Eykir's fight is continuing to go, but Forums needs to go and throw out some healing. We're waiting for the life one, and we got the life lock. Check what the life lock is. Pardon me.
Oh, that was a very unfortunate miss there. Oh.
So allow me to explain. What happens with Asura is after you go and hit her, she rotates her faces a random set and then counterattacks. However, if you attack Asura right after she goes and casts a spell, the random result is always the same face she just used, so you can go and control it that way. If you miss, you don't get a counterattack, so that manipulation fails.
Oh, that was a nice shot. 1809.
Yeah, that is.
You do that one more time, and that pretty much is going to equal victory.
Yeah, that rune axe very variable damage, as it's got low accuracy, but rexxraul is through this Asura fight first, despite coming in second. I think Rex, having sit in the middle, improves its accuracy, as that slot has a 20% accuracy bonus, which, if I believe Rex switched to the rune axe as well, would increase the amount of damage dealt.
Well, that definitely was well played by him, but Eykir has dropped Asura as well into the ravine. And we now will check out the last boss. Now, because we have C Hero on, Forum has to take on this boss alone.
Just looking at the sprites come out, you see the 3 adult fighters come out and say, "All right, kid, best of luck." It's like your 3 uncles going in and sending you off to school.
And you receive a pan from the school of promotion, I suppose. And we are going to fight the Magus sisters here. This is the perfect time to use those multi-target items.
And rexxraul definitely agrees with you, throwing out the Stardust.
Well, that was a very competitive fight, if I do say so myself.
The Maga Sisters were just completely starstruck by that performance.
Meanwhile, the same 3 Maga Sisters just fell down the ravine of Eykir, and that means, very importantly, Cecil's now a paladin.
Yes, Cecil is reset back to level 1. Doesn't feel so bad about having him lose the experience on the Assured fight, and will start gaining paladin experience and can equip a whole bunch of items that are not Dark Knight gear.
Yes, that's really good news, because Dark Knight Cecil is one of the worst characters of the game. But anyway, we don't have to worry about that anymore, and we're just gonna walk on out. You cannot exit out of Mount Ordeals by rule. You absolutely cannot do it. You can try to cast that spell to your heart's content, and the game will just go. So you do have to walk out, and we now will check out our next destination.
Rex appears to be heading to Baron Inn. I believe Rex has not gone to this check, so it doesn't know that Wyvern is not here, but it's very good to know that Wyvern is not there.
All right, Rex is gonna challenge Baron, Steve Avalis, and gonna challenge anyway. I believe the odds are gonna be quite a bit higher than they were before, especially now that we have a paladin in the game. But first, we have to stop the spin of Avalis here.
Looks like Rex is going and choosing to knock down Cecil here. I believe Rex is going to want to go and try and preserve a slingshot that he can get after he has 5 party members and takes takes any fight, because when you have a character who is 5 levels or more behind the median party levels when you have a 5-person party, those characters will go and gain double experience until they are no longer 5 levels behind.
Yep. But will rexxraul survive the antlion? I'd say probably, only because now we are at higher levels and antlion's definitely taking some punishment here.
Speaking of punishment, Porum's taking some too. That counter for 166, just enough to go and knock Porum down.
But that's okay, because Porum is the hero, Porum is still going to get experience, so actually, well, the experience of 0, so never mind.
Well, as long as it isn't a negative experience.
True. And antlion goes down, so rexxraul does win the fight and also receives Yang, which is the very important 5th character, which will engage that portion of the slingshot.
And getting an Earth Crystal, 2 party member checks behind 2 bosses. 1 boss is already open, so the crystal only opens up 1 boss spot, but it also opens up the treasury.
Dun dun dun!
If we thought that Eblan Castle had some nice stuff, well, the treasury can have even better stuff.
Yeah, if I understand it, you can even get tier 8 items, which is the strongest items in the game. The only proviso is you can't get the adamant armor, which is arguably the best armor in all of RPGs.
It is very hard to go and argue against that maximum 100 armor class armor that is 3rd best is the crystal armor with 20 defense and being amazing at that. But it also gives plus 15 to every stat, which when you can stats only up to 99 is a really big boost.
I like this play that Eykir is doing here. It's throwing down grimoires to avoid, or items to avoid counterattacks. However, he did try grimoire. It drew Odin, and Odin cannot defeat bosses, which antlion is.
That is very unfortunate grimoire luck, and part of the reason why I'm very predisposed to selling those silly things.
Raise that treasury!
All right, so the game of Rate That Treasury has begun. A Lunar Staff, Zeus Gauntlet, Life Staff, Ninja Shirt. Ooh, a ribbon. Goodness. Wow,
that Zeus Gauntlet. That Zeus Gauntlet is going to be my pick for biggest item in here, unless we get a Crystal Sword, because that Zeus Gauntlet, in addition to giving plus 10 strength and being an absolute massive boost to attack power, also gives giant resistance. Which means if you want to do a max giant grind, Cecil's defense will be doubled. You put him in the back row and just toss on some heavy armor on Cecil, he is going to be able to protect the entire team and probably take 0 damage, well, 1 damage per hit.
Wow. Yeah, we did also see Hourglass 2 in case we see a non-boss bit fight, which will also help, and we saw another siren as well. So one less thing to one more good fight that you can pick up. We see antlion defeated over on Eykir's side with that Earth Crystal, about a couple minutes behind rexxraul here. So we'll see if he pursues the treasury and the Tower of Zot, which rexxraul is climbing now.
Got 2 bosses. Right now, I think the runner's mentality is I've got 1 boss that can go and put me in go mode. I want to check as many spots on Earth as I can, and then I can want to go and do a grind to take out the other objectives. Maybe just simply go and see if Wyvern's on the moon at the White Spear altar or one of the other altars, and just skip the underground entirely.
Exactly, and I'm going to try to quickly go through this. If you've never seen Free Enterprise before, hey, welcome glad to have you. What our runners are doing here is they are completing 4 of the 5 objectives that you see at the bottom center of your screen. If they do that, they will receive a crystal. They can use that crystal to help fight Zeromus. Actually, you have to use it in order to fight Zeromus, and then they will try to defeat Zeromus. The contestant who does that first will win the race and will be up 1-0 in the best of 3.
Very correct. And when you see Eykir is raiding the treasury, going to get the same items that Rex did, while Rex is now seeing the first boss here in the Maga Sister spot, and it's the other blue robe. It's Water Hag.
Yep, and we do have 3 bosses on, so all Water Hag needs is 3 hits, and I don't believe this is a very, a heavy hitting spot here, so this should be a free 5,000, 7,000 experience.
Yep, this spot, Maga Sisters, they hit somewhat hard. Yang is at risk of going down in 1 punch, but Yang is also base level. But otherwise, it's nice to see Water Hag in some very free spots, but not terrible to see it here with the party at this experience level.
"17 levels for Cecil." So that's a lot of levels. And 8 levels for Yang there. So a lot of leveling up there with rexxraul, and I'm gonna quickly, gonna go back and save and possibly heal up, and we'll check out our next boss.
Yeah, I want to go and have Cecil a non-critical HP range, because if Cecil's in critical HP range, Cecil will not cover, which is a really big part of why Cecil is great. That cover skill is very strong.
Exactly, and Eykir is now going to pursue the Tower of Zot. Cecil is the first character over at the Tower of Zot, which is a duplicate. You cannot duplicate characters in this series, in this tournament. So we'll have to just accept that as is. But I think that's fine. We already have a pretty strong party as it stands. The second character, that's Edge. That's a decision.
That is a big decision. Edge is really greedy for equipment and wants a lot of things, but he also can steal sirens. So if you don't want to do a giant grind, you can go and just put him in your party, have him steal a bunch of things, and then, you're going to go and have a grind. This is one of the 2 pretty much grind-contained characters, which is very helpful to have on this flag set.
Yep, I definitely cannot blame rexxraul for eliminating Yang from the party, or I should say removing Yang from the party, excuse me. And now we're going to check out our boss, our second boss of the Tower of Zot. It is the Dark Elf.
This is a rather free-ish Tower of Zot. Water Hag, punch a little hard, but not hard enough to go and cause any problems. Dark Elf, going to do a bit of damage in the first phase, but the second phase is going to go and be that dragon form, which is not immune to certain status effects because it doesn't have the boss bit.
Exactly, and now Cecil did have to suffer a weak spell there, so that's going to hurt a little bit, and there goes that cover ability that you were talking about earlier, Baka Shinobi, and but he's back up after a Cure 2, and still looking pretty good for rexxraul as Eykir approaches the Water Hag.
Yep, and Rex also has the option. We did see that the second boss, because of the sprite that was at the Golba spot, we saw the second boss at Dwarf Castle, which is the Dark Imps, meaning that Rex could potentially go into Dwarf Castle, check the first boss, see if it's Wyvern, and then just leave.
The Berserk missed on Cecil. Does Cecil have non-Berserk resistant armor right now?
No, I think Cecil was just already Berserk. It might have been a misinput.
Oh, okay.
Because the game does default to the center slot, so it's very easy to accidentally go and select, press A twice or get a double input in your A. Oh, I'm casting Berserk. Oh, I'm casting Berserk on the person who's already Berserk. Thanks, game.
Waterhag goes down for Eykir. rexxraul goes and defeats the Dark Elf for 8,143 experience points. And we're about to see the item that will, the reward for that. But first, we're going to have the Tower of Zot kind of crumble. Except you can go back to the Tower of Zot in this version.
It just goes and puts on the dramatic shaking effect to go and, justify the music. And the pink tail is all the reward from there. Without a hook, we can't even turn that in. It could be a crystal sword, but for now, it's just a key item.
All right, so it's on to our next check. Is it time to check out the underground? Well, first we're going to, I'm assuming we're going to check out the Mist Cave for that boss. I don't think we checked out the Waterfall Cave yet, have we?
Eykir did, I missed it, but Eykir might have gone and checked that early on, and Rex is doing that now before opening up the underground.
Yeah, so rexxraul did discover that it was the Calbrenna, and we're going to... Ralstar in chat, thank you very much. It was Golbez over in the waterfall. I did not get a chance to see the armor spot, so... and the weapon spot declined to pick up anything from there. So yeah.
Yeah, now we have this, and yep, Rex is going to checking the waterfall spot. We're probably going to see Rex go underground. We don't have either part of Forge, but we have effectively 4 open boss checks if you go underground. We can go and see the 2 fights in the Fey March, 1 fight in Dwarf Castle that we haven't seen because we've seen the 2nd fight through Tower of Zot, and 1 fight on the top of Lower Babel.
So first things first, rexxraul is gonna check out some weapons and armor here, and the Dark Elf fight is underway in the second half of over on Eykir's side. Little Cure 2 going on here. Nice slash for 300, another edge attack for 800. I think this is a solid win here.
Yeah, things are looking a bit dim for Dark Elf. But Rex did go and find longswords for sale in the Toria weapon shop, which is quite helpful for Edge, as the short swords really don't cut it, but double longswords is a pretty acceptable endgame damage set.
All right, rexxraul, where to? Is it time for the underground, or is it time to go to the moon again? It's probably time for the underground, if I had to take a guess, but well, the answer is yes, it's time to go underground.
And it would be interesting to see if we get a Baron key for our troubles, as we do know that there is a Lunar Sparkle there. Rex still going and checking armor shops. Might be looking for a curse ring to throw on Porum. Wouldn't be the worst thing to have to go and guarantee a relative agility 1 setup. But does find life potions, which are nice to have, especially when you only have 1 white mage and you only start with 10.
Yeah, and those 10 life potions can get consumed in a real hurry here. But while the magma key gets dropped into the Agart well, I'm going to take a moment to thank our restreamer Ascorian today, and we also would like to thank a Stone Dingley over on tracking. So many thanks to them, and also many thanks to Baka Shinobi, one of the workshop helpers on the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Discord. So many thanks to him for dealing with me.
It's usually people have to deal with me that I'm thanking, because I appreciate going doing commentary with you as well, Game Boy.
Hey, it's been a pleasure. It's always fun to see this game here. All right, rexxraul is actually going to do a free check first. Gonna go. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, the pan has been acquired. So actually, we're gonna have 5 heroes walking down the Sylvan cave, and they're gonna pop Yang in the head with a pan.
The taste of home.
And then
After
the
all.
Filth Furies will give him an item.
Yep, though not a key item because this case summon flag is off. Only the moon spots and the main spots will give key items here.
Ba-ding!
Hourglass 2 is
Okay.
a pretty interesting thing because that one of the grinds that opens up with sirens is gold dragons, but you usually want to be able to go and hourglass them because they're kind of mean.
Well, I tell you what, they both went through the treasury, and that also had an hourglass too. So that actually opens up the gold dragon spot as a potential grind spot here.
An interesting idea would be to take sirens and go into the giant, not to do a Mac Giant grind, but to just simply summon Mac Giants because you can go and berserk up if you're summoning Mac Giants. A siren used on one of the lower floors of the giant will go and summon 2 Mac Giants. With the Ogre Axe and Charm Arrows, you have a bunch of gear for killing giants. That's a pretty quick grind. If you can just go and if you're taking experience intermittently, it might end up being faster than a full Mac Giant grind.
Interesting. I don't think I've seen that grind yet. But what we do see is a tower key over in the Feymarsh, and we are going to quickly check down here to see what the bosses are. It is Bahamut, Bahamut and Octomam, so we don't have to worry about those right now. I see Eykir trying to set up I'm assuming it's a Mac Giant grind.
That does in fact look like a giant manipulation where you go and take encounters around Baron to see where you are in the encounter chart, and depending on what encounter you get on what step, you take extra encounters until you get to the right position, turn off encounters, go to the giant, and then the next fight you take will be a Mac Giant grind.
All right, so let's see what. Well, first we're going to open some boxes, and then we're going to see civil engineer. Oh, that's a good job. That's a good job.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to go and pave a way to success.
You're funny, Baga Shinobi. You're funny.
Not even just funny looking too. But Eykir is happy to go and get started on his grind, it seems, while Rex is going and checking all of the underground. Eykir did not go and do Fabul Defense, which has the Fabul Gauntlet there, and that is a long fight, but it will give a Magma Key.
All right, so while this grind is starting up here, rexxraul is going to go ahead and check out those 2 items that were from Yang's wife. Those are the words I was looking for.
Yep.
And yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was to say there is a chance that Yang's wife can go and give both items for the legend sword with the adamant objective. Just need adamant and legend swords from there. Only the tower key was in the Feymarsh chest, but that is another boss spot open to Rex.
All right, so the first key item here is the Mass Immune. Oh, that's pretty nice. And then we also got a package, which probably will not be pursued at this point, unless you really want to look for Mist Dragon.
Yeah, she only gave a legendary sword, and well, I guess it's a package deal for the other item.
All right, so where to after this? It's gonna probably be back to the underground. Yes, back to the underground. As we did see one Mac Giant go down over on Eykir's side. And we're now going to check out the Dwarf Castle here.
I'll be interested to see if Rex decides to reset immediately because he does know the second boss and has 2 other boss checks open to him. It's a Sparkle. This could be Wyvern. This could be go mode for Rex. And if this is go mode for Rex, this is actually quite bad for Eykir because one of the ways underground is the Magma Key, which is at Fabul, which Eykir will need to go and take care of, and it's going to be hard to speed up. It is just Ogopogo here, though. Eykir stays safe for now.
Yeah, for now is right. Ogopogo will be taking away half of our hero's HP here. Well, plus or minus 1 or 2.
That rounding always goes and gets a few people. Ogopogo doing his best to take away almost the rest of Edge's HP with that punch for 380 damage.
Yeah, that was not pleasant for sure. And Quorum goes down, the healer goes down, but Sid is right there with a Cure 2 potion. And oh, what has happened with Cecil? It was he on a bow and arrow?
Cecil has the Artemis bow and charm arrows, and it looks to be that ran out of charm arrows. I think Rex was trying to go in Berserk Glitch Quorum, but didn't quite get it off in time, so when Cecil's turn came back up, it saw, oh hey, you have no more arrows, goodbye. But the Berserk landed, and Cecil did not get the chance to go and switch weapons.
Yeah, but it's looking okay for rexxraul here. He's gonna be taking 25% HP loss here, but I think doing okay here. As the third Mac Giant goes down over on Eykir's side.
Summoning the next one, just going and keeping the grind going. This is going to take a good number of Mac Giants. I think it's going to take, well, depending on what levels you want to get up to, maybe 20 or so giants for the full Zeromus levels, but if you only need, there are 3 objectives to go through that will give experience as well, so maybe you only take 15 or so.
Well, it also depends on whether you want to complete the giant right now, because it does take a while to get into the giant. There is quite a long scene to get into the Giant of Babel, so that is another consideration with this grind here.
Yeah, that is definitely a good thing to consider. How much time do you want to spend going and looking for grinding or coming back into here after you've done a grind? There's a lot of incentive to just fight these back giants as long as you can. Maybe you go and do one fight when you run out of resources, finish the fight, and go and get ready for the next, and try and take out the giant that way, or just set up another max giant grind.
We have 3 Dark Imps as the second boss of the Dwarf Castle, and this is a pretty easy fight. The Dark Imps were only hitting for like 100 at a time, so that is virtually free 20,000 experience and multiple levels for our heroes.
Yeah, that definitely was not an impressive display by those enemies.
But once again, we will witness the red hand of Golbez stealing the crystal.
The heroes are not they're quick in combat, but not so quick when they don't have the menus in front of them. But with this down, we know where one of the Lunar Sparkles is. We still have 3 more we can find. And meanwhile, Eykir is still continuing on that Mac Giant grind.
Yeah, worth noting that the Searcher is taking about 300 to 500 hit points of damage, and actually just took another 800 there. So I think he's I think Eykir is trying to wrap this up here.
I would not be surprised, as it does look like the team is getting kind of low. Cecil, I believe, does have the Zeus Gauntlet, which will make it easier for Cecil to resist the damage, but not sure you can go and keep that up forever. Oh yeah, still taking 220.
Sand Ruby is the award for the Dwarf Castle that probably will not be pursued on this seed.
Did we see who the Sand Ruby character was?
I did not see it. Oh, there's a tiara.
Tiara is definitely one of the best pieces of equipment for Porum. Very good defense, very good magic defense, plus 10 wisdom, and resistance to dragons. But 20,000 is a bit pricey.
Yeah, and it was not pursued. So rexxraul will be going back to the blue planet and off to his next objective.
Looks like Rex is interested in at least the Sand Ruby, might also be interested in the package. If Atella is here, that does go and make the grind question much easier.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Eykir's pot committed at this point, but rexxraul not quite.
Yeah, Eykir has decided that, I could keep going around just an edge in the, or a sit in the bed, so not really worth going and grabbing. I did see there was a dwarf axe for sale in the weapon shop, but Rex is also choosing not to pick that up either.
And just an Asura spell over at rexxraul's side. Rydia is nowhere to be found on this seed so far.
Rydia is just going on vacation with the Demas at the moment. Rex is choosing not to check package, it seems, and is just getting ready to go probably head back underground and check tower key, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, and I think you're right with that. You have to. You don't have to do anything with the Tower of Babel, but that is 2 key item checks, and actually, that starts introducing a 10 key item thing. I believe we have 8 on the board for rexxraul, so if these wind up being key items, that's double experience points.
Yep, and with double experience points, you can spend half the time in a grind, which Eykir's been in this grind for a bit. Eykir's going making good progress through it, but gonna go and want to try and get through this faster as possible. If you can cut down the number of D machines you need to do in half, or excuse me, max giants you need to do in half, that's usually a pretty helpful thing. Rex going and saving at the middle spot of the tower, going and just maybe getting ready to head into the tower room, the tower cannon room, in case there's some obnoxious boss that could just make Rex say, nope, not doing this.
All right, so the climb up the Tower of Babel is continuing. It's going to take about another minute or so before he gets to the top here, as we pull up another Mac Giant over on Eykir's side. I believe that's like the 7th or 8th.
I have most certainly lost count, unfortunately. But Eykir has done a good amount of damage to that Searcher, so it is... Eykir definitely is prioritizing keeping the party up, which Cecil covering is doing a good job of. Porum's throwing out Cure 2s, and the rest of the melee fighters is just throwing out hits.
So this is one of the Mylons. Will it be regular Mylon or will it be Mylon Z? It is Mylon and Friends.
That's actually a little annoying for this party because we have Edge is the best source of AoE damage. Edge might actually be able to go and take out the gas with Flame, though.
Yeah, and this is actually, I would contend this is one of the better things you want to run into, only because there are 5 targets instead of 1, because this is a high HP spot.
Oh yeah, around 26,000 HP here. That's a fair bit to chew through with parties at this level.
Yeah, it just seems so like out of balance in a way. I can't come up with a better term for it, but Just because it just has so much HP. But the reason it is because normally it's Dr. Luge, and you have 2 fights, and it comes with ball nabs. So, but they're right there. rexxraul just trimmed about 4,000 HP off the table here.
Also going to be able to clean up. The Earth Hammer also going to go and help do some damage to those gas, and takes out one of them. So they are probably very close to dead, very teetering on the edge of life. Or unlife.
Yeah, one of those two. All right, so Kane's gonna get berserked here, and there goes the last gas, and it's all pretty much whole day to win at this point.
Yep, get ready for the counterlit ones doing the grand total of single-digit damage. Excuse me, double-digit on Porum.
Whoa!
And it just shoots through that 500 HP super fast.
Yeah, this is one of the things about this randomizer. There are still a lot of vanilla elements to this randomizer, and this is one of them where it doesn't quite scale the way it does. There are other randomizers where, you know, if it was applied to this, we'd be seeing lit 3s, but not in this one.
Mine only keeps that lit 1 spell, and speaking of keeping things, Eykir goes and decides we're no longer going to keep that searcher around, finishes off the fight, goes and gets a bunch of experience on the party, 21 levels for Kane, 22 levels for Cecil, 18 levels for Edge. Gonna put Eykir in the high 30s, low 40s if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe, 43 for Edge, so if you've got the tents and the cabins, it might be time to challenge the Giant of Babel here. Especially when you consider that, oh, my body, by the way. You're looking at another about 200,000 experience, or 100. Yeah, no, it's about 200,000 experience points in these 2 spots. Or is that with double? And help me out.
It is 100,000 experience base in the element spot and 150,000 experience base in the CPU spot, provided that they both bosses provide full experience. So you are definitely correct with about 200,000. Okay, 250,000, but we could go and get any boss that is split like... Well, we've already seen Golbez, but Dr. Luge is still out there. Dr. Luge shows up, he's taking away some of that experience with those other forms.
Meanwhile, we're going to take a look and see what this is for. We got D Lunars, which actually is not a bad spot to see those because they have very low HP, so they can wall up if they want, which is not happening. We had a Luca key pickup on the top spot, and we will figure out what is at the bottom in a moment.
This is... I do not like this fight in the Giant. That's a turtle.
Yeah, that's, 2,000 damage if the wave comes up. Edge could use Blitz to stop the wave, and I also like this play from Yang. We will be seeing a Thor Rage before a wave shows up, pretty sure, anyway.
Yep, that was properly timed. If you go and have the Thor Rage queued up before Kainazo's text of Gathering the Water comes, when Kainazo is RA1, you should be able to go and get that off soon enough, but we're going to have to see a lot of Thor Rages come out for this fight, as we do not have an RA1 setup, but Kainazo is RA1 because of that. This spot's incredibly fast.
All right, we are starting to see rexxraul's grind choice. That's the words I was looking for. And it's stealing sirens from the alert and knocking Kane out to hopefully do a little slingshotting here.
I think Kane is getting knocked down just to go and reduce the number of turns so he can go and steal faster. Because while it's not going to go make Edge theoretically faster, it is going to go and put fewer things between Edge getting his turn and fewer actions need to be taken. Ooh, speaking of actions that need to be taken, Eykir did not have a good time against that wave. Just getting... This is going to be a real mean fight. This Giant is going to be incredibly rude. This is the... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no! I was going to say we are now in the bracket stage, so a little bit of rudeness is not a bad thing if you especially if you're watching, right?
Yeah. Here, I'm just sitting here looking at this and thinking, is the better play to say, forget this fight for now, and go to the moon, take care of stuff there, and come back to this? While it does take a long time to come back in here, I'm not going to disagree in the slightest. This fight here is awful. Not even slightly bad, just awful. Terrible. Never want to do it.
Yeah, I hear you. I did notice Eykir slowing down the battle speed to 3, so I think he's hoping that he can improve his timing so he doesn't get hit with a wave again. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, how much hit points are we trimming off here? 55,000, something like that. So, oof.
61,000, the maximum. Because this spot has around 80,000 vanilla between the two different forms. But because the two different forms are two different enemies, it gets split.
And they're better be another Thor Rage soon. Well, there it is.
The other scary part is we're going to need to go and get that HP down low on us quickly because we're going to run out of Thor Rages.
Indeed, but we are trimming down the HP pretty quickly, about maybe 5,000 points a cycle. Yeah, which is not bad. I mean, we've got a few Thor Rages left here, and it'll make the waves a little bit more tolerable.
Yeah, the waves do 4 to 6% of Kinazo's HP. The base is 4%, and then it gets multiplied up to 50%. So, in order for Porum to survive, we're gonna have 1,000 damage. 1,000 divided by 40 or by 4% needs to be between 40,000 and 26,000 HP. Do not kill Porum outright with a wave.
Yeah, we noticed that Eykir also had a lip bolt, so that will buy him further time here.
Yep. That coming out from Kane doing a nice 2,000 damage. Real good use of that.
So down to 2 lip bolts left, but again, we are cycling pretty well here. So yeah, we're definitely taking away a lot of HP here. As a matter of fact, he's going to throw the jump from Kane.
Have that, going to go and do a good chunk of damage. I think we're going to go and see a Thor Rage heat up very quickly.
Yeah, I'd say now's the time.
Now definitely looks like the time. Gathering the water. Might actually be slightly mistimed just because Kane's going to go, then Yacht might go.
Yeah,
I think actually cause problems because that puts them further back, puts Yang further back in the ATB, which might give Kinazo time to go and cue the wave itself.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he was a little bit late, but at this point, I don't think the wave's going to hurt that much if it does happen. Safe.
Well, Rex is continuing to steal a lot of sirens. I don't know how many sirens. Rex, I'm guessing, is going to go and take the yellow dragon egg grind. And with that, just kill a whole bunch of eggs to get a bunch of experience.
Yep, down goes the alert, and another Thor Rage from Kinazu. I believe that we are out of Thor Rages now, so Moment of Truth is coming.
Yeah, now it's just do all the damage you can, make sure that you've done as much as you can, and just start tanking waves. 500 damage a heal from Kira 3 on Porum is going to be hard to get through. I think we need to go and get Kinazo into the shell and just start overpowering that remedy.
All right, here is the prize for the bottom of the tower. It is the rat tail, which is beautiful because that is now 10 key items.
All your sirens, 10 key items. This is a great time to grind for Rex.
Oh, and things did work out over on Eykir's side. Keinazu is hiding inside the shell.
All right, now we just need to go through that last last bit of HP, but we need to make sure that we're doing enough damage to outpace the remedy, which is going to be about 6,100 HP per remedy.
Wow, that's a lot of HP. Ooh, can we use a slow spell? I don't think we've seen a slow spell yet.
Slow. So this is going to be a ATB shenanigans thing where there is a limit to how fast characters can act, not just from they can only be 5 times faster than the anchor, but also, 65,000 feet. I was underselling that. But to continue my point, there's also this thing called Q jamming, where in order to resolve an action in combat, the ATB needs to advance 1 tick. So each time Edge attacks, the ATB advances 1 tick. Cecil attacks, the ATB advances 1 tick. And it goes through teams. It goes through all of your side and all of the enemy side. So if your side has 3 or 4 attacks that are 3 or 4 actions queued up, it's going to go through all of those before checking the enemy side again, saying, okay, you guys have things queued up, start doing those. And if you have your characters berserked and fighting, you will go and jam the ATB, preventing the enemy from being able to do anything. But if they're already, say, relative agility 1 and you slow them down to relative agility 2, well, if you have 2 people attacking every time the Keinazu is checking for Keinazu's turn, the slow isn't going to help you, unfortunately. The flip side is, you can jam the ATB and just stick in all of your characters who might not be able to get their turn 1-to-1 to Keinazu as is. But if they're going and jamming each other, when it finally gets around to checking, hey, Edge, do you have a turn? Oh, you're berserked. If you have a full ATB, you attack. Edge will just attack. And if you can do that for enough characters, you can go and just keep attacking and be as fast as the enemies, despite them being much faster than you.
And down goes Keinazu. Well done, Eykir.
Very nicely done fight. Very scary fight. Just needed to be perfect on those interruptions for the wave. Got it. Has a bunch of experience. And it's going to be able to go and progress in the next fight after hopefully going back and saving and sleeping, because I don't think Eykir wants to do that again.
No, I don't know. Who in the community would be like, yeah, no problem, I'll fight that again.
It's fine. It was only a 10-minute fight.
My partner has raised her hand and said she wants to fight that again. I'd like to note that she's played Final Fantasy IV for about 15 minutes in total.
Well, that might go in double her playtime. But now we see, this is not the boss hunt we were looking for, but it's Zemus at CPU.
Oh gosh. Well, what? Well, it is a. Oh wow, that is a strong spot as well. But we do have Blink, and I saw an image come out, so this is definitely a winnable fight. It is obviously not going to be easy, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think the CPU spot can process how to pull its punches. It doesn't have any physical attacks, which is usually great. Unfortunately, late game spots, if they don't have one or the other of types of attacks, they tend to just say, okay, max the stat out. Why? Because we're trolls.
Well, speaking of trolling, the D-Mist focus firing on Porum there, and is now going to take a cold mist hit from Kane, but although that did very little damage there.
Thankfully, it's effectively Ice 1, I think, which is a very low magic power, but still going to go and chip down Yong's HP. But one thing we can see is that on Rex's side, Rex has a higher level team than Eykir does already, Rex is level high 40s at this point because of those 10 key items and because of those sirens and just getting very quick, easy fights going out.
Yeah, exactly. So by the end of this fight, Eykir and rexxraul will have similar bosses, but rexxraul will have the advantage just by having all these key items and all these checks that he can make, and so. And the other thing is that he's underground and Eykir is not.
Yeah, so we have discovered that unless Luca Key gives something like Wyvern or Adamant or Legend, then Underground didn't really have anything but key items. What we would need is... Yeah, I would have to go and have Wyvern at Luca and one half of Forge behind either part of this setup. Behind the two tails or Luca itself.
Mm-hmm. rexxraul now challenging the giant, so he will have to undergo the exact same timing that Eykir did. Now, I believe he has some higher levels than Eykir, so that will help him a little bit, but it's still going to be a really hard fight.
Yeah, Rex will probably be able to get away with... Might have to do fewer phases because the higher levels will give better DPS at least, but still going to need to go and disrupt those waves very, very strictly.
All right, so Eykir is getting ready to fight.
Or I'm going using those blinks very well to go and just negate 2 physical attacks from Demus, which is 2/3 of Demus' offensive script, and there goes Demus down and out of the giant. And Eykir has completed objective number 4 once we finish the character cutscene.
Wow, we're at 74 minutes. It will be 74 minutes, and we finally have one objective on the board.
Considering that we have to complete the giant, and there is this Grayson Eddie, you don't really count as a character, especially when the character in the party are level 40 something.
Yeah, and there's no spoon, and that doesn't matter anyway because you can't equip the spoon on Edward anyway. So, yeah, he'll be taking the long walk back to Mystidia Tower.
Even if I have to swim across the ocean to get there.
Wow, that's gonna be a lot of exercise, that's for sure.
Yeah, sadly he's a spooning bard, not a pantoony bard, so doesn't have a boat to go and take either. Better get swimming, Eddie.
All right, so now rexxraul's getting the news here. We're gonna take a look at his Kinazu fight shortly. Oh yes, we did have a Mist Dragon kill, so victory, I should say. And so we're gonna check out the key item here, and in Mist, and the prize is the hook.
If there's a Wyvern at King and Queen Eblan, there's a lot of ways this hook can be hard required and whatnot, but it could be real truly that you'd be forced to go through the Giant of Babel in order to go and access one of the other 2 objectives to go and finish this, the non-darkness gated non-darkness gated objectives to finish the seed.
And rexxraul was late in the lit bolt there, and we'll have to start that fight over again.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone who turns down battle speed for that fight, because it's really good to have that time and not worry about losing turn. Yeah,
I mean, that was one of the that was a really smart play by Eykir to slow down the battle speed a little bit, just to buy a little time and get a little bit wider timing window, and it paid off.
Yes, that's knowing what is the best. Like, it's always good to have the encouragement to go quickly, but knowing when you need to just sacrifice a bit of speed for greater success is very important.
Ooh, that's a nice prize. The white shirt for Porum. That will greatly increase healing power here.
Yeah, and increase her survivability as well because she had a black belt. Porum also has 1482 HP. In the final fight, the attacks can go up to 2,300 to 2,700 damage. Magic defense, however, and magic evade more specifically, can greatly increase Porum's chance of survival.
And it looks like we are going to the moon and beyond. We currently have good timing out of rexxraul in fight number 2.
Going in, trying to get everything going, throwing up berserks to just jam that Q, going and get everyone hitting, try and shoot through that HP as fast as possible, which Rex does have a Masamune for completing other spots, but did miss time a Thor Rage, so is going to eat a wave.
Yeah, I don't know how far into this fight we have gone, so I guess we're going to find out. A lot of damage is being delivered, though, so might have a chance here.
Yeah, might have a chance. Rex does have Pure 4 as well, so, well, Forum doesn't have a chance, unfortunately, as that hurt.
Oh my gosh. Oh, quickly bring back to life. Ooh.
Gonna need Forum back up, starting to go and get her turn, and hopefully get Eykir 4 off before the next wave comes out. She might be able to survive the damage coming out, but she has to full heal the entire party pretty much.
Yeah, although this wave will be slightly weaker, but this Cure 4 has to go off right now.
Looks like it's queued up in time because Cure 4 has no delay. The next time it goes to Form's turn, she will cast it.
Yeah, I saw the gathering in the water. I was like, oh no, yeah, rexxraul's okay.
Rex is okay. Edge and Porum, however, still rather scary position.
Yeah, but a lot of damage has been trimmed off here, so I have a feeling... Yep, I'm right. Okay, under 1,000 damage now, and I think this is going to be a victory here.
Yep, looks like Rex's extra levels in the shell. Rex is going to go and be in fine shape. It has higher DPS and is going to start catching up on Eykir on the objective front.
Meanwhile, we have a Leviathan fight over on Eykir's side. Gonna try to complete objective number 2, which is Cave Bahamut. Looking good so far.
Thunderclaw and Edge or Young doing 5,000 damage. It's Leviathan probably not even going to be able to do mid triple digits with those Ice 2s with the match power here. I think Eykir is going to be pretty safe in this fight.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Leviathan does get a wave in. So everybody lose 25% of their health, but that looking really good here. Yeah, goodbye.
One last parting shot. Also, I appreciate that our runners have to go through 2 different form of bosses that will go and throw out waves.
And we have a defense sword, which is a really nice sword, in my opinion.
Reasonably Kane's best weapon, and a very good weapon for Cecil as well, so I'm not going to be upset to being required to get that.
Alright, gonna head on out and move on. Objective 2 is now complete over on Eykir's side, and gonna move on to the next objective here.
Going to Lunar subterrain, I have a suspicion that Eykir is going to go straight down to the Weight Spear Altar, because that's an objective. Wyvern could be sitting there. Part of Forge should be sitting there. Definitely a high incentive to go there. Meanwhile, Rex is through the Kainatsu fight, gets 200,000 experience, gains an even bigger experience lead on Eykir, and gains weight on Porum.
Yeah, another well played fight, and this is why This is why they're in the round of 64, folks. This is why they're in the bracket, and that's why I'm not. Well, I didn't play, so but I would not have made the round of 64. Let me tell you.
It's definitely a lot of stiff competition. The field continues to get stronger and stronger, and it's a real scary group to get through.
A reminder for those just joining us, this is a best of 3 competition. We are tied at 0 races apiece, so we will have at least one more race in this matchup. If you are enjoying the entertainment these 2 runners are showing, please consider following them. I'm sure they would appreciate that very much.
Speaking of appreciation, Eykir, I imagine, is appreciating having gotten through that giant that Rex is getting into now, but Rex does have the benefit of higher levels. We'll see how long this Zemus fight takes, and Rex is just going to have to try and gain ground on where Eykir is already. Rex is going to get there faster thanks to both higher levels and gaining more experience for each successful fight, but Eykir's 2 fights ahead at the moment and a walk down the Lunar subterrain.
All right, so I believe we will have a white spear check in a moment. Going to quickly cure for the team, and we're going to check out the opponent in a moment.
Yeah, and Eykir is probably feeling pretty safe, as Mylon Z is not an awful fight to go and deal with in this spot.
Fall flat into the deep ravine that doesn't exist in the lunar subterranean, at least not in this spot.
You can go down a floor. There's that whole lunar core where it's got that cool glass floor, and then just the complete emptiness until the void that is the star. I'm sure you could find a deep ravine there, kind of, if you twist it around a bit.
Yeah, it is a. I agree. It's a little bit of a walk, though.
Well, and there was a whole bunch of gaps around outside too, so maybe that's not actually wall. It's complete and empty deep void. And Mylon Z's really hoping that there's just some deep ravines because he really likes to go and dig it. He just digs those.
Well, I think it will be Mylon Z who will be defeated here shortly. It is. It's taken a ton of punishment here, and yep, down goes Mylon Z. Well done, Eykir. And just 30,000 experience, but more importantly, objective 5 is complete.
One objective left, and that's a twin harp. That's one of the few locations left where Wyvern could be hiding that Eykir can get to. The spots we have not seen so far are the King Queen Eblan spot on the hook route, the Twin Harp location, what the Lunar Sparkle is at the first spot of Baron, and what the other 2 fights in Baron are, and what the fight in the Steel Cave is in addition to other fights on the moon.
But I suspect we're going to have a ribbon fight because if those 2 boxes behind this ribbon spot are the Legend and the Adamant, well, how about the King and Queen of Eblan? Whoa, I'll take a free 100,000 experience. Yeah,
that's pretty nice to go and get. Rex, meanwhile, has gone and finished off that giant, and King Eddie is going to go and have the Zemus, which will give the hook, which could be a boss check, but also a key item check for Rex that wasn't for Eykir.
All right, so it is going to take about a minute or so to resolve this fight. Yeah, I'd say about a minute or so. And here's another thing with that 100,000 experience. Porum's going to gain a few more levels, like 1 or 2 more levels, and Porum needs it. 1544 HP is not going to cut it for the final fight.
It's a bit lean. I think Rex's Porum is up to 1,800 experience at this point. Ooh, there's a Baron key. How tempted are you to go and check that Sparkle right now, Eykir?
Yeah, I would be very tempted at this point. Although I cannot blame him for checking the Ogopogo spot because you're here, might as well.
Yeah, if that's Ogopogo, still a chance. It's only a 1 in 3 for that Lunar Sparkle, but if you find Pale Dim and Plague here, you know where Wyvern is. There's Plague. 1 in 2. That Wyvern is behind the Baron key.
And it looks like he's going to try to play it out, try to get a Star Veil, but was a little bit late.
Yep, not quite getting it, but is going to be able to reflect back a count. But is going to go and need to revive Porum. Oh, right, Eykir doesn't know about D-Lunars because those were in Dwarf Castle. That is a good point. So only Rex would know that's a 1 in 2. Eykir would still leave it a 1 in 3.
Yeah, so I believe this will become a victory, kind of, except Yang is going to go down here because Yang's time will run out.
Yep, that wall is it's preventing Wild Count from coming out, which has the effect of when Count is cast, it sets it to 10, and if it doesn't cast on you, it keeps it at 3, or whatever count it currently is.
I do think this life is going to come out in time, so should be okay there. rexxraul is going to head on over to the tail turn-in, and we're going to see what the key item is over here, actually. And here we go.
Austin Artemis Bow. Eykir misses nothing by not getting the rat tail.
Yeah, but the white shirt will be nice.
Yeah, great for survivability for Porum, so very nice to go and have that.
Oh, that was a good idea to knock out Porum, but Kane only dealt 81 damage. Well, Yang dealt 606. That takes care of it.
Yep. Just getting betrayed by the Burn Axe accuracy. Actually coming back to this item shop. Looks to be buying more poison arrows, it looks like. Yeah, poison arrows.
Yep. Makes total sense to me. Oh, I think we're going to have a lot of people going down here shortly. Unless they can cheat time here, which is possible. But Kane has gone down here. Oh, we have a victory. Well done.
It cheats the count just like he cheats at cards. And the Masamune spot alter cheats Eykir out of anything helpful.
Yeah, so that is a bit unfortunate. An Eykir doesn't have a lot of key items, so I totally understand why he went through the entire plague fight there. But instead, it's just pretty much 61,000 experience, which really isn't a lot at this juncture.
Yeah, Eykir really needs to go and get... Eykir needs to find Wyvern. That's what it comes down to. Eykir has 2 gating boss spots to go through. One that he knows has a sparkle. And then Eykir is in... He needs to go underground to go and check either Luca Cave or be able to get and forge. The rudest thing would be if the Adamant is at Luca, Adamant or Legends at Luca, and Wyvern is there as well. There is just no way to avoid catching one of those 2 objectives. Or avoid the Luca Cave to get one of those 2 objectives.
Alright, so we are going to have a crystal sword spot, crystal sword spot check. Say that 3 times fast.
I'd rather not. My tongue does not like trying to do those level of gymnastics.
Meanwhile, rexxraul is going to probably dispatch Leviathan very quickly, if I had to take a guess. Oh, it's a dark night. Are we going to play this? Yes, we are. And are we going to survive it? Yes, we are, because Yang's there. Yang's got 5,000 hit points. So, yeah, we're fine.
Young will live, Edge can revive, so Edge will also live. Porum gets experience because she's the hero. That's what happens on these flags. The hero always gains experience, regardless of being alive or dead, and Kane gets nothing again.
Kane gets nothing. He loses.
We set Porum just learns white, which is where Rex's Porum was at the end of the giant, only getting a crystal pack. Either Wyvern is at the Murasame altar, or Wyvern is on Earth.
And are we going to check that altar? I imagine that he will. It's much quicker to cast the exit spell and heal back up. And I love seeing this play every time our runners do that. See, my brain says go into the big whale and go heal up in bed, but it's much faster to pull up a cabin and rest that way. So I applaud all the runners who do that strategy.
I can appreciate the cheap play of going into the giant. Cabins are expensive. They're 1,000 gil each. I mean, when are you going to go and have that much? Aside from after killing all of these bosses that give you tens of thousands of gil each time.
All right, so we're gonna check out the sword here and the Masamune spot. I get confused. Masamune, Murasame, one of those two. But either way, we're gonna check it.
This is the Murasame spot. The Murasame is the worst one. It's the one closer to the top and easier to get. Masamune is all the way down at the bottom in the special shiny chamber with Ogopogo. And it's not elements.
We are gonna fight this as well. Go ahead and get it knocked out. And because we could see like a legend sword or an adamant, which would make this a much more valuable play. But right now, the moon really hasn't presented a lot of value here.
Yeah, Eykir can go and do Baron and Twin Harp and the King Queen check on the hook route to go and find Wyvern, and then has to find the Luca key to get underground. Well, find the Luca key and get underground to find out if Wyvern's there, because those are the remaining spots for Wyvern to hide.
Yeah, the pressure is building on our runners. Fortunately, again, this is a best of 3, so they definitely will. One of our runners will get a second chance in a few days' time. So, but still,
yeah, it's always much less pressure to go into game 2 with a win than a loss. But Eykir has the, and we're going to get the adamant. Half of Forge is on the moon. Eykir knows that at least one objective is gated by the moon, but now also has to go back to Earth to find the other one.
Yep, and that pretty much means that that probably means a Baron check at this point. I'm pretty sure.
I agree with Baron. It's 3 boss locations, and you know it's a Sparkle. We know it's a 50-50. Eykir knows it's a 1 in 3.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a double-digit chance even.
Whoa.
I know. Let's not go and get too excited about how high those odds are.
All right, so rexxraul is going to probably check out the Vanilla White Spear altar to knock out objective number 5 on his list. Gonna go to Fabul first. Eykir's going to Fabul.
Eykir never gets Fabul. That's where the magma key is.
Oh, he never played the gauntlet, so well, that's gonna be a pretty quick task.
Yeah, Edge is going to cast a lot of spells because I believe Rex got through this with Thor Rages that Eykir's exhausted. Which, in reflection, Eykir needed every single Thor Rage to get through that Kainatsu fight. This is absolutely fascinating. Alright, Kick will also go and do the job because Young has experience in levels and attack power.
Yeah, either way, that's going to get totally destroyed. You know what else is getting totally destroyed is Mylon Z. 10,000 damage from that white spell. Ouch.
Forum definitely knows her whites from left or right. And
Mylon Z is dismissed.
he has left the building. There's the Twin Harp. Does Rex check it, or does Rex go and keep checking the moon? One thing Rex is going to have after this moon, though, is a lot of experience if Rex takes all the fight.
Yeah, an argument. Yeah, I mean, by that time, he will easily destroy Zeromus. As a matter of fact, he's about to get 200,000 more experience. We are deep into the 50s, and I think we're approaching 60 here.
Forum has 2,000 experience. That usually means that Forum's probably going to go and be at 20 agility, which is one of the fun breakpoints on the Zeromus fight. That's not something you usually get to, because it requires Forum to be level 56.
That is a high number in just about any RPG. Level 56? Wow.
Cecil gets at level 45, so you can tell exactly how far behind the curve Forum is. You want another fun Forum comparison? Forum and Rosa have about the same HP when they learn Cure 4, about 1,500. Rosa learns Cure 4 at level 39. Forum learns Cure 4 at level 48.
Oh, this isn't looking good. We're going to throw a key down the well.
Eykir is going and trying to catch up on lost time, maybe thinking that there's one part of Forge Underground and there's one part on the moon. We know that's not necessarily the case unless Eykir goes to Luca Key, which is from the top of Tower.
Although, if you think about it, I can totally understand this play just because there are so many key item checks and all he's looking for is that Legend Sword or Wyvern.
Yep. I mean, Eykir might go and be... I think Eykir's betting on Forge more than Wyvern at the moment because... I mean, also, it's been hour 40. I wouldn't be surprised if our runners have forgotten who gave them the key item at the start because they're thinking, all right, this is my hero, this is my starting key item of nothing, this is my secondary character, where am I going, what am I doing? And just completely blank, right, this boss that is giving me an item could be something important, and oh yeah, it's Wyvern. I forget it all the time. I usually have to tell myself it's this person, but speaking of checking things, Rex is going right to Baron, it looks like, and wants to check that Baron key.
Yeah, I'm thinking big advantage for rexxraul right now, because even if these 3 checks fail, then we have a Luca key in the back pocket.
Yep. And again, we know there's a sparkle in the first spot of Baron. Actually, look at this. We found a lot of key items. We've done a lot of key item checks. Do you know the one key item check key item we have not found? Aside from Legend Sword?
Oh, what's that?
The Path! The free, stress-free way to Zeromus, where if you go to Tori and present it, you get a great shot to Zeromus, less than 30 seconds from save to fight. Which means that the pass was gated by the bottom of the moon, it seems, because we know that Twin Harp and Baron Key were there, and those are the last 2 key items you can... Oh, excuse me. It could be Luca Key, because we never checked that.
Yep. So Eykir does pick up the tower key from that box and is going to pop Yang in the head with the pan. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Pale dim.
Granted, Rex hasn't... I don't believe Rex has seen every other Lunar boss in the game, so he doesn't know that the next Sparkle is in fact guaranteed to be Wyvern. But we do! And on Eykir's side...
We have the brains. We have the knowledge.
Still have no clue where Wyvern is, though. Okay, right, so we have 7 clues as to where Wyvern is. It's not that great for where in the world is Wyvern or Carmen San Diego.
I'll play that game show if you want, but well, we better put that to the side. We've got a Dr. Luge fight.
The good doctor is trying to take over the kingdom today. The good doctor is going to discover that he is not insured for this.
Yeah, he's a little underpowered for this party. Here we go, round 2. Will we get the speech in? No, we will not.
Doctor didn't even get to go and say, "This is the real fight." No, Doctor, this is not a fight at all, unfortunately. Hey, it's another cane.
If you just joined us, you cannot duplicate characters, so yeah, never mind that.
Never mind that, and let's see. The only character spot we haven't seen is the package and the package is a spot that hasn't been checked, if I'm not mistaken. Rex never went and looked into that. That could also be where Wyvern is.
Let's go, Mr. Wyvern, right now. Yeah, love it.
Eykir getting the Masamune and the package, so Eykir might be inclined to go and check the package because it's another boss check. So the spots left are Baron Throne, Twin Harp, Package, Luca Key, and King Queen Eblan spot.
But that is a legend sword. Eykir needs to hurry up and get to Baron.
We'll see where Eykir goes, because Eykir moon gating the legend sword. Well, yeah, Eykir is going back underground. We do not have any visibility where Wyvern is. Let's see, it's Baron.
Yeah, and again, I cannot blame Eykir here. There is still a lot of checks to be made here. That is an evil wall, and that is a reset from rexxraul. So, oh my goodness, what's left?
There's Sealed Cave, there's Package, there's Twin Harp, and there's King Queen Eblan 1. Or King Queen Eblan spot on the hook route. And Rex appears to be going for Twin Harp.
All right, friends, that means it is time to play the 100,000 Jill Name That Tune. You know how this works. First person to name the tune correctly will be in the drawing for 100,000 Jill. I know Margaret Ann's in the drawing, and I don't know who else is in the drawing, but I'm sure there are plenty of people that are in the drawing.
As long as the runners aren't trying to draw this out. But I don't think either runner is terribly interested in that, as they would like to go and advance to that next round and get a win here. Go and have a one-game advantage, while Eykir discovers, yep, that's a Sparkle. Nope, that's not Wyvern.
Yeah, oh my goodness. So now Eykir knows it's a 1 and 2, I think.
Yes, Eykir hasn't done Dwarf Castle yet, so he doesn't know that Ogopogo is also out of the pool.
Okay, so I imagine he is soon into 1 and 2 land, unless he checks the Luca key.
Yes. But this seed is certainly going and trolling our runners. You have to go and take the top spot on the moon to go and get the adamant, and then you have to take the Baron key from the ribbon spot to get the legend sword. Not the favorite setup for that.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely proper for our bracket runners here. So it has been quite a race here, but it is almost time for Baka Shinobi and I to take a little bit of a break here.
What? No, never. I don't take breaks. I'm too dedicated for that. Oh, unless you mean that we should be quiet for music? No. But why would people want to listen to music? It's not like it's anything random or unpredictable.
Oh, but it is. There are about 87 trillion songs in the randomizer website. There are just so many tunes. Yeah, this is why we play for 100,000 Jill right here, right now. So, my friends, For a chance at 100,000 Jill, name that tune. A very quick dismissal there by rexxraul, but Scala Kitty, our head engineer, has declared. What did she declare? She declared Ascorian, our restreamer, winning the chance at 100,000 Jill. Are restreamers allowed to? Well, I was going to say, are restreamers allowed to win? But what they are allowed to win is a gift sub from JBrunTR. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it.
Speaking cool things to be thankful for, rexxraul won the prize of finding Wyvern, as that is go mode for rexxraul. Rex has the crystal and is parked right outside of Toria, is going to be able to go straight into that Zeromus fight. Maybe Rex wants to go and take a few more levels because, you know, maybe we want to go and get up to Z's actual level with the entire party so we can just completely... I think Rex is going to go straight into the fight.
Yeah, I totally missed the fact. Oh, that was a Wyvern fight. I was just so concentrated on what the tune was. So, thank you for catching that, Baka Shinobi. That's slightly important.
The music was amazing. I'm not going to go and deny that. It's just the Wyvern was also kind of important, which means that the moon hard required, as it gave the Wyvern with the Twin Harp from the White Spear altar that you really aren't escaping doing, and it gates the Adamant at the Marasame spot, and the Legend Sword at the Baron Throne, which is the Baron Key is found at the Ribbon spot. Oh. Poor Eykir, skipping most of the moon, but not following up on the moon chains, and instead going and trying to catch up in the underground spots, is unfortunately going to go and be a bit behind Rex.
Yeah, this is a huge advantage to rexxraul at this point, and again, cannot blame Eykir here. There were just so many checks to look at, and they all were relatively quick. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. So, but again, can't blame him.
Yep, it's very easy for half of Forge to be on the moon, half of Forge to be on Earth. That is, I have made that gamble in the past, and it's paid out for me. So I don't blame Eykir for making it. It's just unfortunately not paying out today.
All right, so yeah, so we are about 2 minutes away from a very important fight, if I do say so myself.
Right, we do have I mean, yeah, we got a crystal that we're not quite at the end game screen yet, but that's all we need, right? Nothing terribly important happens after this, or is there some other big thing I'm forgetting about?
Yeah, there is a spot where this particular boss has anywhere between 60,000 and 111,000 hit points, just depending on how you play it.
That's a bit unfair. I thought we said that like the maximum HP you can have is 65,000. How do you go over that?
Yeah, there's something where if you trim off 42,000 hit points off this one particular boss, it gets reset. Their HP gets reset to 60,000 because 16-bit limitations.
Well, that sounds like cheating. Also, what boss is this? Why haven't we seen it already?
Well, I actually don't know what boss it is because there are about 600 variations of this particular boss. So that obviously leads to a particular question that that about 230 people watching live and probably thousands of people watching the VOD on YouTube want us to ask. So, Baka Shinobi, take it away.
I guess you are correct, because Zemus, the final boss of Final Fantasy IV, is incredibly rude and cheats, as we mentioned. He's going to go and just be here every time because we don't let him out of this lunar core. He's trapped here for a reason, mostly because he's going to just be too mean and ugly. But after the makeover, we get to go and find out who we're asking because, yeah, the final fight can't go and just leave everything vanilla. We got to go and give some level of randomization to it. So as we're going into this final fight, let us ask the important question of whose butt are we kicking tonight?
And me, coming from the Dragon Warrior randomizer community, more often than not, I hereby vote for. Well, let's see. We did Dragon Lord earlier this tournament, so let's do Slime.
Slime or Metal Slime?
Oh, I've never seen Metal Slime.
Oh, it is hard to hit and hard to find. It is a rather rare encounter. As I understand that game, those things are very important to find.
Yeah, but we now will find out what this boss actually is, and then I'm going to start doing some writing. Grrrg. And I have no idea what that is. Baka Shinobi, take over.
This is Fuel Mist, the final boss of Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. Did you like RTS? Do you like Final Fantasy? Do you want to play both of those at the same time? It's kind of awkward, but it sometimes works.
All right, so we immediately use that Silk Web against Zemus. Great play. That really slows things down. The nuke went to the perfect spot, and we start off with 3,000 damage.
And we are just going to go and throw out a Bacchus Wine. Going to go and use those to get the team going even faster. Or I'm going to go and throw out some Berserks.
I saw a dart, but I did not see a number occupied by that. Did it hit?
I believe it hit. I think if Zemus is immune, it would have gone and... Yeah, okay, it didn't do max damage. If Zemus is immune, Edge, instead of throwing, would go and do his casting animation, and it would say failed, or nothing happened.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, so I'm seeing quad 9, so I missed that. 20,800 damage already dealt here.
Jerome, I mean, you see that 2,000 HP Porum? That's a level 60 Porum. That's a level 60 party.
Yeah, yeah, pretty strong, and that is a weak Big Bang because the slow reduces the magic power of Zemus temporarily.
Yes, one of the many things Zemus does, like Zemus's main damage is his Big Bang attack, which he will go and cycle through multiple times after shaking and posturing menacingly. But if you go and get Zemus to cast a counter nuke at the correct time, you can go and make Zemus not to cast that spell at the high magic power it's supposed to, but instead cast it at a much lower magic power, because the game developers thought that casting nuke at a high magic power was completely unfair and was a delete one character button.
We now transition into phase 2 of this fight. We are definitely there is a way you can shortcut this by using wall strats, but this is not the party for it.
If you're really aggressive, you can actually go and even do that without wall strats. You just have to go and do 61,000 damage before the first Big Bang gets queued.
Wow, really? Interesting. I did not know that.
That is something that was discovered very swiftly after the version 2 came out, where you could have duplicate characters, so people would go and do all one character runs. And they would do all one character runs of characters like Cecil, and let them have adamant armors and crystal swords. And Zemus was absolutely murdered after that.
Yep, and we're now down to 29,200 hit points and rapidly falling.
Speaking of rapidly falling, Eykir has gone to the Twin Harp, is finding Wyvern, does have a pass from Sealed Cave, which had to walk it out, but Wyvern's down and is going to be able to get to the Zemus fight faster than Rex did. But Rex is very quickly going through the Zemus fight, it looks like.
Yeah, down to 12,000 experience. I believe we are going to be seeing rocks very shortly.
Zemus is shaking, trying to look menacing, but I think it's more that Zemus is shaking in their boots or hooves.
Yeah, I think he's down to. I believe we're done. Are we done?
We got rocks.
Nope.
We're almost there.
I think it's just one more shot and we're done. I don't even know if it hit anybody. It might hit one person, but no. I guess my math was a little bit off. I believe the reset happened late, but there it is. Your winner of this race, rexxraul, will be taking the 1-0 lead of this best of 3. Final time, 1 hour, 56 minutes, 17 seconds. Congratulations.
GG's to Rex. That was a very well-run race. Power overwhelming, but going and getting that power so quickly and so well definitely gave Rex a huge advantage on that Kinadza fight. And here we are joined by Rex. GG's Rex.
Hey there.
So, the seed, what was your favorite part of it?
Like actually finding that Artemis bow right away at the Castle Eblan really helped me get through a lot of this game. So that was my actual favorite part.
Not the Kinazo at Elements. I'm sure you're just sitting there thinking that, yes, this is the best thing to ever fight. This is so enjoyable to fight. How did you enjoy that fight, by the way?
Well, if you notice, I definitely paused a moment once I saw him. Like, oh my goodness, this is like really the nastiest spot you could ever find him. But I had leveled pretty significantly by that point, and I still had a few Thor Rages left. My timing was off a little bit, but I was able to take him down on the second try, so I was very happy about that.
Yeah, both you and Eykir took one wipe on that fight, but you had the noticeably faster fight because you took more levels before coming in. Eykir chose to actually skip going underground for a long time, didn't do the Bull Defense, and went to the Giant to the Mac Giant grind. Well, you went, took 10 key items, and stole Sirens. Did you consider doing a Mac Giant grind, or were you committed to, I want to go and go through the underground and get the items there?
Well, I was ready to do a Mac Giant grind. Honestly, it's something that's not very strong in my repertoire. So once I got Edge, I'm like, okay, well, now I can do Sirens and everything's gonna be fine. The only thing that was difficult was, as I was in the tower, I was at 9 key items. And I'm thinking as I'm leaving, if I get the 10th, then that's gonna be great. If I don't, so I ended up stealing more Sirens, much more Sirens than I needed. But if that wasn't a key item, then I probably would have needed all those extra Sirens for more eggs too. So it ended up being a tricky part of it. And if I was more practiced at Mac Giant grinds, that might have been the more efficient way of going. But for me and for my skills, the egg grind was much, much better for me.
Well, it certainly worked out for you. You went and again, made good work of that Kinatsu, as you did have the HP to just start surviving waves as... Yeah, that's a rude fight at RA1. That's a very rude fight when you can't even go and make your team RA1. So GG's on getting through that.
Thank you. I was pretty proud of that. Keinatsu is kind of one of those that's notoriously scary in certain spots. But, with the years of playing Free Enterprise that I've got under my belt, I feel I'm pretty good at Keinatsu fights in general. So I actually really enjoyed this seed. It was epic, but it was a lot of fun to get through everything that was on there. So
yeah. When you look back at the replay, if you choose to look back on the replay, you're gonna hear me ask, "Do we have any spots left?"
Yeah.
That was we almost 100%ed that thing.
Especially. I talked a little bit with Eykir after the race, and I think between the two of us, we came really close to 100%ing, if not, maybe Package was the only thing we didn't check? I don't know.
I believe Package and King Queen Eblan were the only boss spots not checked. Everything else got looked at. You did skip the sealed cave rather than check that before going to the moon. And
right.
What drove that decision, out of curiosity?
I didn't have warp, so I figured I'll do other checks. It was just my, if all else fails, go to Sealed Cave. That was my thought on that one.
Enough.
Well, that turned into a very good decision. I mean, you and hey, you gave everybody a twin harp, some music. So, for the record, Scorian is in the drawing for the grand prize of a lot of Jill, so to speak.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to both check the job dwarf and talk to and do the music. Like I love doing the fun things when I'm on Restream as well. And the fact that I was able to get a win while doing all that too was also great. So this just felt great. I had a great time. Hoping forward to, and Eykir was great too. It was a really close race. So I imagine the other two, if necessary, races in this best of three is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And the entire community will be looking forward to seeing those races one way or another. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right. Thank you to everybody. Hope you all have a good one now. Bye. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. As well done, Eykir, with the Z fight there. 2 hours, 1 minute 51 seconds is the second place time here.
GG's to Eykir. We'll be going and trying to go and get them in here shortly, as that was a marathon seed for sure. That's absolutely draining. All the stuff you had to go through. The giant, technically not required, but with the other two objectives, you have to go and clear almost all the moves, find the Baron key, come back, and do Wyvern if you want to skip the giant. That whole thing was just completely disgusting.
Yeah, well, welcome to the bracket stages, everyone. It's gonna be fun, and we still have, oh gosh, like 100 races left to see one way or another. So yeah, let's see some hype crystals in chat.
Yeah, and that no tell around either to go and give the easy answer of how do you grind. You don't do D machines. We did have two competing grinds between Sirens on rexxraul's side and Mac Giants on Eykir's side, and Eykir, speaking of which, has joined us now. GG's on finishing that marathon of the seed, Eykir. Eykir may be having some slight mic problems.
I forgot I have to talk on.
I do that all the time.
Too much work doing Zoom stuff. It's like, I'm the first to talk there. Good games. Yeah, it looked to be a jet seed's beginning. And I'm glad I rescheduled for 5 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock.
How did you feel when you saw, oh, I've got 3 objectives that are gated by darkness, and then Darkness Crystal was Baron in?
No, it was Antline, I thought.
Right, yes.
And panic. It's like, oh crap, there's 3 objectives I can do. I need to find a way to grind. And I had a decent party for what I thought was the Mac Giant grind, and I don't know if you can tell, but I've never done a Mac Giant grind before today.
It's a bit scary, I'm going to admit. That Cecil, I would figure that Ogre Gauntlet would have given a bit more, but it was still taking 200 damage off Cecil, so... Yeah, that's pretty frightening. Yep. That's not what you want to go and have.
I went up Earth just to see maybe there's a tele here. I can make this grind really easy, but no, lots of melee. Actually, I think my starting forearm was my only magic user.
Let's see, count Edge.
I found Edge, who used image once.
Yeah, your characters in the seed were the starting Porum, Sid, Kane, Cecil, Yang, Edward.
Yep, the Edward and Giant. I didn't find out who was in Baron or Dwarf Castle. Because I got my character set.
They were duplicate Canes in both those locations.
So yeah, that's really all we had. Well, I'm glad we had a Poron then.
Yeah, that is how would you feel about that seed if you started with Chase? Very hard to go and pick a character who would be, I guess, Callum would feel nice until you got to the point where you had no white mage for that Kainatsu.
That would have been, that would have been bad. I mean, not be able to berserk things. That kind of scared me a little bit. Mostly because I used half my my lightning items on a different fight just to get through that one. So yeah, that was was tough. I did get through the second try.
Yes, both you and Rex did take a wipe on that Kinato. Rex did go underground. Why, out of curiosity, did you choose to fade Fabul for as long as you did?
Once I found the, I don't remember when I found the hook, actually, but I got my characters. I did Earth. I got my party. And I was like, okay, let's go look for items and see if I can find something to kill the Mag Giants with. And Ogre X. Okay, I think I'm set. Let's go up and do the grind, do the giant, head to the moon, take those 2 items. If I find either Legend Adamants or whatever the can't think Wyvern was, if I find them up there, I'm good to go. So I just always wanted to try a seed where I never went underground. And you didn't have to this seed at all.
Yeah, that was the cruel. All right, if you found both parts of Forge, you would have had to go underground because the other half of Forge was behind the Baron key,
which I think was behind
Ribbon,
the Ribbon altar, and the
yes.
Twin Harp I thought was right next to it. And,
yep, Twin Harp was from White Spear.
Yep. So I could have done either one of those to get my go mode. I would have had to go underground. But I think I found Hook up there also, which told me that. Or I found Hook somewhere that told me where Magma Key was. I knew Magma Key was at the pool.
Yes,
I just
Hook
didn't
was
need
from.
to get it yet.
Yeah, the Hook was from Demas.
Right. Okay, so it wasn't the giant. Yes.
It was behind Dartis, which.
Yeah, which told me where Magma Key was. That was the important part. So that's one reason I decided to go to the moon. It's like I know where Magma Key is. I don't have to get it yet. Go to get my other objectives done because I got all those levels. And if everything's up there and I never went underground, then I can save time over X if he did. And that didn't work out. And then when I came back, it's like, okay, well, if Rex went underground, he's got all these checks. He may be in Go mode already. I have to go duplicate those. And that's why I didn't go right to Twin Heart Baron. Also because I forgot there was a Sparkle Eye Baron. My mind tricked me into thinking it was like Dalt or Lugay.
We did mention it was about an hour or 40 before you really had the opportunity to think, what was that Baron again?
Yeah, I have a terrible memory anyways. I'm not going to remember it's a Sparkle that far in.
I know that feeling as well.
Yep, totally understandable for sure. Oh, but yeah, quite a seed, that's for sure. Any final thoughts?
I knew it was going to be a tough race against rexxraul. He's really good. So and don't let our rankings fool you. You know, they're both 50s. It's always going to be a tough match against him. So looking forward to our second game tomorrow. And thank you for the restream team. Appreciate all the work that you do. Game Boy F9, Baka Shinobi, Stone Dingley on tracking the Scorian.
Yep, it's definitely been our pleasure. And but yeah, it is only 1-0. So you do get that second chance tomorrow. So we look forward to seeing you then.
Same here. So, thank you, everyone.
All right.
Have a good night.
Baka Shinobi, final thoughts before we send it off to Nimimva?
That was most certainly a real experience of a seed all over the place, moon and back. Moon hard required on every front, it seemed. So just a fun seed if you like to go and see the moon.
Well, we all like to see the moon, but alas, this stream is about to come to an end. But before I do that, I would like to take a moment to thank Baka Shinobi, my co-commentator, for a wonderful race. It's been a great time. Really enjoyed it. We also want to give cheers to our restreamer, Escorian. She's awesome. Our tracker is Stone Dingley. He's awesome. Baka Shinobi's awesome. All the viewers are awesome. The runners are awesome. We're all awesome. And there we go. So I'll go ahead and close things out. So as I said, we're going to raid Nimimva. He's doing some Zemus Zone 2, Zemus Zone 4, excuse me, Zemus Zone 4 seeds. My words are going to come to me. So, you know what? I better get out of here. So for the racers, Eykir and rexxraul, for my co-commentator, Baka Shinobi, for restreamer Escorian, for the tracker of Stone Dingley, this is me, Game Boy F9. You've been watching Free Enterprise. Please have a great night. We got more races coming up soon.
Don't forget to give Game Boy F9 a follow as well. It's been great doing commentary with you.